Hey, good morning. This is Lynx, and I got a really good example here of how important it is the way we ask a question when using an oracle, okay, or when using dice, or when using tarot, or whatever. We're just going to call them an oracle, okay? So, someone asked me in the Lucky Lynx Fortune Dice group. Someone asked me a question specifically to divine for them, and it was, should I continue with this course of study? Now, I don't mean to put anyone on the spot here. This is really the point of this is I think we can all learn something from this. So I'm using this as an example because I'm always looking for really good examples when they show up. So let's take this question and let's look at it before we divine with it. Okay, so someone said, should I continue with my X studies? Okay, so X being the variable. So let's take a look at that. Okay, should I continue with my studies? Okay, so the answer, we're not getting any answer, which may tell us something. It's rolling off the board and it's getting stuck on its side and it's not even coming up. Okay, so I'm going to say that that's the response. I just rolled it twice and twice it didn't come up. It came up on the side like this. Okay, so let's answer that. Let's think about that for a second. In the old days, when there was an oracle and someone asked a question of an oracle, the oracle would usually come back with some sort of weird question or cone or some sort of thing that when one pondered on it, they would unlock a lot of things inside of them. I mean, that was the true nature of divination. We now expect, because of television and movies and pop psychics, expect someone to look inside of us and tell us exactly what to do and who to be. Okay, and I'm not saying that this is what the person who asked the question is doing. I'm just saying generally this is a trend. Okay, so, and any of you who've seen, some of this pop psychic stuff have seen, it's like, people, well, you're supposed to be a nurse, you're supposed to be this, you're supposed to be that. It's like, okay, supposed to be for what? Okay, so now old oracles like the Oracle of Delphi and other famous oracles in Sumeria and other places, the response would be a question in itself. Okay, so let's say there's this well, before I do that, let me say that there's this trend too that people say you can't ask clarifying questions because it means you're not a psychic, but quite often the question I come back with is the answer for the individual. It's the thing that's there to unlock the potential of what it is that they're asking. Because if they think about it or let it go inside, cognitive linking will start to happen, and then they'll come up with something on their own that is suited to them. So let's ask this a different way. Let's look a different way. Okay, so according to what? Okay, according to what? So let's say, should I continue with my studies if I want to stay financially sound? Jessica Rabbit. Okay, so then what I would say in response to that question is, this is really not about monetary concerns. This is about the individual not having the confidence to believe in him or herself. Okay, so and then if that were the question. Okay, so let's say, should I continue with this course of study? How will others view me if I do? Okay, so that's freakazoid. So that may mean that this individual will feel on the outside of his social group if he continues to do it. So if you want to feel part of your social group, I would say, well, this is going to put you on the outside of it. Okay, so let's say, will it ensure me a job? Okay, so then there's Zim in that one, and I'm going to say in that case you're going to have a lot of competition in that field, and you're going to feel very small in that area. But if you're persistent, like with anything, the key is how persistent are you? Because any of you who've seen Zim know that he won't give up no matter what. Everything's stacked against him, and he continually keeps going no matter what. Okay, so then let's ask, in order to get a lover, should I continue with this course of study in order to get a lover? Okay, so we got Samurai Jack, And I would say that that one is about, perhaps this should be more about disciplining your mind and learning skills than worrying about a lover. Okay, so now I don't know that they answered the question or not, because it was a case of, should I continue? According to what? According to whom? Whose standard are you holding up for this question in order for it to be answered? See what I'm saying? So we tend to think, and that the way the question is answered reveals a lot how we frame it. You know, um, tells us a lot about where the person is at and what they're thinking. So in that case, it may be saying, hey, there is something out there bigger than me that should tell me what I should do. And the question I always ask is, according to what? This is your life. Who do you want to be? And then I might start with, so then I would say, in that case, let's ask it like an oracle would. Let's see what question we can come back for the individual then. Okay, so Jessica Rabbit. Okay, so we go back to that first answer, which was Jessica Rabbit. So the answer to the question that the individual asked is also a question, and I'm coming back in true oracle style. What would be the best course of action for you right now, in which you can determine for your own self and your own life who you are? What would you like to do to be able to know, no matter what, who you are by your own standard, not by other standards? And the other question I'm going to ask is, who told you that you had to ask someone else for approval for what you do with your life? So that's the response I would give. Now, we could always change that if there was like, okay, all right, but I really want to know if I could, if I'm going to be in the right state to be able to continue it, or if I'm going to lose my scholarship or something like that. That would be a very different question. Okay, so that's how you consider it, guys. So how you consider, or what you consider as a question, is very, very important. And for those of you who read for people, how they ask the question tells you as much as going on as what the answer is. And think about how you phrase your questions, because you may get an answer that you didn't even want, directing you down a path that you had no intention of going, simply because you didn't specify or be clear on what you were really asking. Okay, so think about that, guys, and I hope this helps. And if you have any questions, please put them in the thing below, and I'll do my best to answer any questions you have, and I will talk to you this week.